We're the church of Jesus Christ. And God has called us to go out into a dying world. And here's the problem. How in the world do you reach this world we're living in, when in all of these pluralism, everything you look around, everywhere you go, people are telling you that you're a nut and telling you that Jesus isn't the only way. And they're telling you to be quiet. Now here's the point, and I'm done. Look at this next word. In His Spirit. I laid my head down on my pillow last night and I finished 3 weeks of sermons. Paro unto. Now watch this. Pneuma. Anybody recognize that? I've taught you that before. I laid my head down on my pillow last night and the Lord said, I want you to ask those people one question today. Ask them just one, and then send them home and make them think about it. This word right here means, in the King James Version, the New King James Version, it means provoked. If you look in the New Living Translation, it means deeply troubled. If you were to look in the NIV Bible, it means distressed. If you were to look, and I love this Bible, the Message Bible, it would say, watch this, the longer Paul stayed in Athens, the angrier he became. When was the last time you heard a 14-year-old use the F word in McDonald's and it bothered you? When was the last time you walked into all of the culture we're living in and you hadn't breathed and drank the Kool-Aid enough that it grieved your spirit because people were going to hell? When was the last time you stayed awake at night praying for your lost loved one? Let's take a test. Who believes Christ is coming back? Please lift your hands. Now, are you living that way? Or, in the cesspool of philosophy, do you actually validate this book that says Christians profess values, but they don't really live it? Unless it affects them. When was the last time you were bothered by a world that was lost? I mean, when you pick up the paper, do you see Sparks Wildcats? Or did you notice that there was a little girl that was kidnapped? You talk about the playoffs being up in the air? Or the fact about that Islamic people sure believe their religion a lot more than you and I do. You go into Barnes & Nobles and you read this book that I read called What Will the World Look Like 50 Years From Now? So I looked at it and I thought, what will the world look like 50 years from now? Oh, now that's interesting. Here's one. The future of the soul. See what it has to say. Page 206. It certainly won't be mystics or theologians who solve the greatest problems of the world, the riddles, but it'll be scientists. Maybe a long genius like Darwin, but more probably a combination of neuroscientists, computer scientists, and science-savvy philosophers. So one, which means that you believe that when your soul dies, it goes to heaven or hell. How many of you would believe in a soul one theory? Believe that when you die, your soul goes to heaven or hell. He says that when soul one dies, a belated, unlamented death at the hand of science, which will in process launch a re-understanding in America of what the soul really means. In 50 years, no one is going to believe that garbage. What I love about the Apostle Paul is that he walked into the Athenian temple and he didn't get mad at the Athenian people. You're going to find out in the next 3 weeks how he walked in there, what he said, how he said it, and he's going to show you the secret to reaching your world today. He didn't go in there and go, you know what I have a problem with? I have a problem with people who hold abortion signs that says you're a baby murderer. I do. Is abortion wrong? Yes, abortion is wrong. But how do you think you're going to change the world by spreading hate in front of an abortion clinic? I have a friend that had 9 abortions. She said, if I'd ever seen one sign that said, I love you, I'm here to help you, I would have stopped. She's now an evangelist. I don't know about you, but to me, the time is too short for all of us to go to sleep. The time is too short for us to get comfortable at Covenant Community Church with the success God has given us. The time is too short. Now, maybe you don't care about the little boy in Lesotho whose parents have died of AIDS, and he's 12, and he's the only breadwinner. But my God, at least care about the niece you've got that is on her way to hell and learning that there is no God underneath your nose. You don't have to care about an Islamic child being taught to strap a bomb to his body, to usher in the Mahdi through jihad internally and externally. But my God and my Savior at least care about your aunt who's hooked on dope this morning, who's full of hate and envy because of a rape, and at least get involved in her life. You may not go to Southeast Asia with me this year as we alleviate suffering. You may not go back with me to Lesotho as I go back and bring food and clothing to people in the 5th poorest place in the world. You don't have to go there. But you know where you do have to go? You got to go to GE. You got to go to North Hopkins High School. You got to go on top of a roof. You got to go into the schools like Brother Bass and his son and teach delinquent kids how to have manners. I can't go to UPS, but you can. I can't be a consultant for businesses, but you can. I can't be the county attorney, but you can. I can't go and be a nurse for a doctor and spend all day long in suffering, but you can. Will you just do one thing? Will you let God challenge you this year? Will you let God speak to your heart and say, God, I don't have much to offer you. I don't have the words to say. I'll promise as your shepherd, I'll train you what to say. But you'll say, I'll go into a dying world this year. I'll go into a dying world. Whatever my world looks like is the only place I really need to go. And I'll make a difference.